I handed my daughter her birthday gift in front of 47 guests, DNA results proving I wasn't her father. Then I walked out of the life I'd built for 16 years without saying a single word. But let me back up, because the story doesn't start at that party. It starts 3 weeks earlier in an estate attorney's office that smelled like old leather and lies I hadn't discovered yet. My father died on a Tuesday, lung cancer, 3 months from diagnosis to funeral. I'm Mark, by the way, 42, software engineer, the kind of guy who keeps his head down, pays his bills on time, and believes that if you're good to people, they'll be good to you back. I believed a lot of stupid things. The attorney's name was Brennan. Silver hair, expensive suit, the kind of handshake that felt like a contract. He slid a folder across his mahogany desk. Estate documents, asset distributions, the usual paperwork that follows death. I wasn't really paying attention. I was thinking about my daughter, Sophie. How Dad never got to see her turn 16. How we'd already booked the venue for next month. Your father wanted genetic screening done for the family, Brennan said. There's a hereditary condition, nothing serious, but it runs in the bloodline. We need to document it for the estate. I nodded. Sure. Whatever. I signed forms. I gave blood. Standard stuff. Then Brennan looked at me. Really looked. The kind of look that makes your stomach drop before your brain understands why. Mark, he said, and his voice changed, got softer, careful. I need to ask you something. What's your blood type? O positive, I said. Why? He didn't answer right away. Instead, he pulled out a medical chart from my father's files, type AB negative. Then he pulled out another sheet, Sophie's pediatric records, somehow attached to the estate screening. Your daughter's listed as AB negative, he said. I shrugged. She got it from Dad, I guess. Genetics are weird. Brennan picked up a pen, drew a simple chart on his legal pad. 2 O positive parents, the possible outcomes. Then he drew what happens when one parent is O positive. Mark. He put the pen down. Your daughter couldn't have type AB negative, not from you. The office went very quiet. I could hear the secretary typing through the wall, a car horn outside, the sound of my own breathing, suddenly too loud. That's when Brennan said the words that ended my life. Your daughter couldn't have type AB negative, not from you. I drove home on autopilot. Rachel was at yoga Tuesday evening like clockwork. Sophie was at school, chess club running late. The house was empty. I went straight to the bathroom, opened the medicine cabinet like I was looking for aspirin, but I wasn't looking for aspirin. I was looking for proof that Brennan was wrong, that there was some mistake in the paperwork, some mix-up at the lab. The cabinet was organized. Rachel's thing, everything labeled, everything in its place. First aid on the top shelf, daily medications in the middle, bottom shelf, the keepsake box, the one I wasn't supposed to know about, but I'd seen her pull from it once, years ago, crying over something she wouldn't explain. My hands shook as I opened it. Sophie's hospital bracelet, pink plastic, faded from 16 years in the dark. Baby girl Morrison, it read in blue marker. Morrison is Rachel's maiden name. We weren't married yet when Sophie was born. I remembered that bracelet. I'd taken it home from the hospital myself, saved it like it mattered. Underneath it, a locket, silver, worn smooth at the edges. I'd never seen Rachel wear it. I opened the locket. Some guy's face stared back at me. Dark hair, strong jaw, smiling. Not me. I found her hospital bracelet, right next to a locket I'd never seen, with someone else's photo inside. The rest of that evening blurred. I put everything back exactly as I'd found it, washed my hands, stared at myself in the mirror like I was meeting a stranger. When Rachel came home, she kissed my cheek. How was the attorney? Fine, I said, just paperwork. Sophie bounced in at 7, full of energy, talking about her birthday party. Dad, can we do a photo booth? Emma's party had one and it was so fun. Sure, sweetheart. I said. Whatever you want. She hugged me. You're the best. I held her a little too long. She smelled like the strawberry shampoo Rachel bought her. She had my father's eyes, or so everyone said, brown, warm, quick to laugh. Except they weren't my father's eyes. They weren't my eyes at all. If you've ever found something that changed everything you believed about your life, just leave a heart emoji. You don't have to explain. I'll understand. Tuesday dinners at my mother's house were a family tradition. Every week, same time, same people. Mom, Patricia, 67, the kind of woman who ran everything and everyone with a smile that wasn't really a smile. My sister Vanessa and her husband Greg, Rachel and Sophie, me. We'd been doing this for years, decades if you counted my childhood. That Tuesday, 3 days after the attorney's office, I watched them all differently. Mom set the table with her good china. Mark, honey, you seem quiet tonight. Everything okay with your father's estate? Fine, I said. Rachel glanced at me, quick, nervous, then looked away. Vanessa touched Rachel's hand under the table. Just a brief touch. A gesture I would have missed if I hadn't been paying attention, but I was paying attention now, to everything. How's Sophie's party planning going? Mom asked. Not, how are you doing? Not, are you handling your grief okay? Just, how's Sophie's party planning going? Good, Rachel said, too fast. Great, everything's coming together. Greg refilled his wine, didn't look at me. 16, Mom said, shaking her head. Where does the time go? Feels like yesterday you brought her home from the hospital, Mark. I cut my chicken. Yeah, feels like yesterday. Mom brought out the photo albums after dinner. She always did this, pulled out the old pictures, the family history. Usually I loved it. Usually I'd sit with Sophie and point out baby pictures, tell her stories about when I was young. Tonight I watched Mom close an album when I walked over, fast, like she didn't want me to see something. Which one's that? I asked. Oh, just old pictures, nothing interesting. Rachel's phone buzzed. She glanced at it again, ignored every call. Vanessa poured coffee. You've always been so good to Sophie, Mark. The emphasis was strange. You've always been so good. Like it was noteworthy. Like being good to your own daughter deserved special mention. My sister touched Rachel's hand under the table, a gesture of solidarity, against me. I didn't sleep that night. I lay in bed next to Rachel and stared at the ceiling and understood that I was alone in my own marriage, in my own family, that whatever was happening, they all knew, they'd known, and they'd chosen not to tell me. By Friday, I'd made a decision. I ordered a DNA test online, discreet packaging, expedited results, private lab that didn't ask questions. I used a prepaid credit card Rachel wouldn't see on our statements. I took hair from Sophie's brush, 3 strands, still with the root attached, the way the instructions specified. The whole thing felt like a crime, like I was violating something sacred. Because what if I was wrong? What if this was all some terrible misunderstanding and I was about to shatter my daughter's world over a blood type coincidence? But I wasn't wrong. I knew I wasn't wrong. I called the lab. A woman answered, professional and emotionless. Paternity test, expedited processing, case number DT478392, she confirmed, results in 48 hours. I thanked her, hung up, looked at the calendar on my phone. Sophie's sweet 16 party was in 7 days. The technician said results in 48 hours. Sophie's party was in 7 days. The week between ordering that test and opening the results was the longest of my life. I went to work. I came home. I helped Sophie plan her party like nothing was wrong. She showed me her Pinterest board one night. Sweet 16 Dreams, she'd titled it. Photos of decorations, color schemes, cake designs, everything pink and gold and perfect. What do you think, Dad? She asked, scrolling through options. It's beautiful, sweetheart. I want it to be perfect. You only turned 16 once, right? Right. She leaned against me on the couch. I'm glad you're my dad. Some of my friends, their dads are never around, but you're always here. My throat closed. I'll always be here for you, Sophie. Rachel watched us from the kitchen doorway. I couldn't read her face. We booked the venue that Wednesday, the Riverside Hall, big enough for 50 guests. Sophie wanted a DJ, a photo booth, a 3-tier cake with Forever Daddy's Girl written in frosting. Forever Daddy's Girl, the baker confirmed, writing it down. That's sweet. Rachel signed the contract. Her hand trembled slightly. Mom called Thursday night. I finalized the guest list, she said. 47 people. I hope that's all right. You made the guest list? I asked. Well, Rachel and I thought it would be easier. You've been so busy with your father's estate. No questions asked, no concern for my father's estate. Just, how's Sophie's party planning going? I hung up and stared at the finalized invitation on my laptop. 47 guests. Names I recognized. Family, friends, neighbors, my mother's entire social circle, maximum witnesses. Friday afternoon, I sat in my car in the grocery store parking lot. The DNA results were supposed to arrive today. I'd had them sent to a P.O. box Rachel didn't know about. My phone buzzed. Email notification. Your DNA results are ready for pickup. I drove to the post office, signed for the envelope. Heavy, official, sealed with embossed stamps. I could feel the weight of what was inside. I didn't open it there. I drove to the lake, the one where my father taught me to fish when I was 8. Parked under the old oak tree, sat there while the sun set and the water turned gold and then dark. Then I opened the envelope. The letterhead was professional, clinical. Genetic Testing Services, Dr. Helena Ortiz, PhD, Director. Case number DT478392, test date, sample collection method, all very official. Then the results, genetic markers, 16 different loci, each one mapped out in a chart. Sophie's profile on the left, mine on the right, no matches, not one single marker aligned. And at the bottom, in bold type, probability of paternity 0.0%. The paper crinkled in my hands. I read it again, then again, looking for some footnote, some margin of error, some possibility that this was wrong. There wasn't one. I sat in my car and understood that everything I'd believed about my life was fiction. Sophie hugged me and said, "You're the best dad in the world." The DNA results arrived 2 hours later, but there was more. I flipped to the second page, then the third. Additional testing results. The header read. My mother had tested Sophie too, 2 years ago. Same lab, same markers, same conclusion. The report included one more page I wasn't expecting, a second set of results. My mother had tested Sophie too. 2 years ago, I sat in that car for 2 hours. The lake went dark. My phone buzzed with texts from Rachel. Where are you? Dinner's ready. Sophie's asking for you. I didn't answer. I read the report again. My mother's test was dated February 17th, 2023, almost 3 years ago. The lab notes indicated she'd submitted Sophie's hair sample with a swab of her own DNA, requesting a grandparent verification test. Results, 0.0% probability of biological relationship. She'd known for 3 years. 3 years of Tuesday dinners, 3 years of, "You're such a good father, Mark." 3 years of watching me plan birthdays and pack lunches and teach Sophie to drive. 3 years of lying to my face. I finally drove home around 10. The house was dark except for the porch light. Rachel had left dinner wrapped in the fridge. A note on the counter. Sophie went to bed. Hope you're okay. Love you. Love you. I climbed the stairs, stood outside Sophie's room. Her door was cracked open and I could see her sleeping, one arm thrown over her pillow, her phone charging on the nightstand. She looked peaceful, innocent. She was innocent. Whatever Rachel had done, whatever lies my family had told, Sophie didn't know. She was just a kid who loved her dad, except I wasn't her dad. No doubt, no error margin, just 0.0%. The next morning, Saturday, I called a lawyer friend, Jason Chen. We'd gone to college together, stayed close over the years. He handled family law now, mostly divorces. "I need a favor," I said, "and it's going to sound crazy." "Try me." "I need to access old phone records, text message backups from my family's shared phone plan." Silence on the other end. Then, "Mark, what's going on?" "I can't explain yet, but I need to know what they've been saying, what they've been hiding." "They?" "My wife, my mother, my sister, all of them." Jason didn't ask more questions. He understood that tone, the tone of a man who had already lost everything and was just documenting the wreckage. "I can submit a legal request for account records," he said. "As the primary account holder, you have rights to the data. It'll take a few days." "The party's next Saturday." "I'll expedite it." 3 days later, Jason called. "I've got the records, Mark. You should probably sit down." I was already sitting. In my car again. Same parking lot, same spot. I was spending a lot of time in parking lots lately. "Send them." My phone buzzed. A massive PDF file. 247 pages of text message logs pulled from cloud backups. Deleted messages. Private conversations I was never meant to see. I started reading. Rachel to Patricia, March 14th, 2023. "He's asking questions about Sophie's medical history. I don't know what to tell him." Patricia to Rachel. "Tell him nothing. We agreed. For Sophie's sake." Rachel to Patricia. "It's been 16 years. Don't you think he deserves to know?" Patricia to Rachel. "What he deserves is a happy family. That's what we've given him." I scrolled faster. Vanessa to Rachel, June 2023. "Still holding up okay? Mark still doesn't suspect?" Rachel to Vanessa. "No, but I hate this. I hate lying to him every day." Vanessa to Rachel. "Then you should have thought of that 16 years ago." 83 messages between Rachel and my mother. 41 between Rachel and Vanessa. All of them talking about me like I was a problem to manage. A child who couldn't handle the truth. Then I found the group chat. It was called Mark's Family, except I wasn't in it. Members, Patricia, Vanessa, Greg, Rachel, created November 2019. I scrolled through the messages, years of them, planning dinners, coordinating stories, making sure no one slipped up. Greg, December 2021. Almost mentioned Derek at dinner, caught myself. Patricia, be more careful. Mark can't ever know. Vanessa, this is getting exhausting. How long are we keeping this up? Patricia, as long as it takes. Sophie deserves a father. Rachel, Mark is her father. He's raised her, loved her. That's what matters. Patricia, then why are we having this conversation? The group chat was named Protecting Mark. They'd been protecting me from the truth for 16 years. But there was more. I found messages to someone else. A phone number I didn't recognize. Rachel had been texting this number regularly. Photos of Sophie, updates about school, achievements, milestones. First day of high school, one message read, with a photo of Sophie in front of our house. "Made honor roll again," another said. "Growing up so fast." The number never responded, just received the messages. Like someone watching from a distance, I ran the number through a reverse lookup. Derek Morrison, age 44, lives in Westfield, 3 towns over. I hired a private investigator Sunday morning. Cost me $800 for a rush job, but I didn't care. By Monday evening, I had a full report. Derek Morrison, Rachel's college boyfriend. They dated for 2 years before breaking up in 2008. He was married now, had 2 kids of his own, worked in insurance, lived in a nice house with a white picket fence, and he'd been at Sophie's 5th birthday party. The PI included photo evidence. I pulled up our old photo album, the one Rachel had made, professionally bound. Sophie's 5th birthday at the park. There were 40 photos. I'd looked at them 100 times, but I'd never noticed the man in the background of photo 17, standing by the pavilion, watching, dark hair, strong jaw, the same face from the locket. Derek had attended Sophie's 5th birthday party. He was in the background of a photo, smiling. I contacted Derek through email, a generic message. "We need to talk about Sophie." He responded within an hour. "I was wondering when this would happen," he wrote. "Can we meet?" We met at a coffee shop in a town neither of us lived in. Neutral ground. Derek was already there when I arrived, sitting in the back corner, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. He stood when I approached, started to offer his hand, then thought better of it. "Mark," he said. "Derek." We sat. "I'm sorry," he said immediately. "I know that doesn't mean much, but I am." "When did you know?" I asked. "Rachel told me when Sophie was 5. Not before. She reached out. Said Sophie was asking about why she looked different from you. Rachel panicked, contacted me." "And you just went along with it?" "I wanted to tell you." Derek's voice cracked. "I wanted to do the right thing, but Rachel begged me not to, said it would destroy Sophie's stability, that you were a good father and she couldn't take that away from her daughter." "Her daughter," I repeated, "not mine." "You raised her," Derek said quietly. "That counts for something." "Does it?" We sat in silence. The coffee shop hummed around us. Normal people having normal conversations. Nobody else's life was imploding over a cup of coffee. "Your mother knew before I did," Derek finally said. "She figured it out early. Rachel told me Patricia confronted her when Sophie was 2, demanded a paternity test, got one secretly, and told no one. She told Rachel to keep you in the dark, said you'd leave if you knew, that it was better this way." I laughed. It came out bitter. "Better for who?" "Not you," Derek admitted. Derek sent one more email. "Your family knew before I did." I left the coffee shop and sat in my car and felt something shift inside me. Anger, yes. Betrayal, absolutely. But something else too. Clarity. This wasn't about revenge. It wasn't even about hurting Rachel or my mother or anyone else who'd lied to me for 16 years. It was about truth. And if I was going to tell the truth, I was going to tell it right. Tuesday morning, I met with a divorce attorney. Ellen Cho, 52, came highly recommended. Jason had made the introduction. Her office was downtown, all glass and steel and expensive furniture. She offered me water. I declined. "Tell me everything," she said, so I did. She took notes, asked questions, pulled out forms and documents and legal pads covered in shorthand. When I finished, she sat back. "You have grounds for divorce, adultery, fraud, misrepresentation. You could probably sue for emotional distress, financial restitution for 16 years of child support." "I don't want to sue," I said. "I want Sophie protected." "She's 16. Court will take her preference into account. And I want everyone to know, not just my wife, everyone who lied, everyone who helped hide this." Ellen's pen paused. "What do you mean, everyone?" "Her party, this Saturday, 47 guests, my entire family, my mother, my sister, everyone who knew and said nothing." "Mark." "I want to tell them all, at once, in front of each other." Ellen set her pen down, looked at me. "What you're planning at that party could cost you custody. Public humiliation of a minor's mother, emotional distress to the child. A judge won't like that." "It'll cost me more to keep lying." She studied me for a long moment, then nodded. "I'll prepare the paperwork, divorce papers, custody agreement, financial disclosures, everything you need." "Can you also prepare a summary of the evidence? Something I can distribute?" "You're really doing this?" "I am." She drafted it all. Divorce papers ready to file. A custody evaluation I'd been documenting for months. Every school event I'd attended, every doctor's appointment, every moment I'd been present while Rachel worked late or went to yoga or lived her lie. And a legal document summarizing the evidence, the DNA tests, the phone records, the timeline. Truth, organized and notarized. Ellen handed me the folders Wednesday afternoon. This is everything. But Mark, think about Sophie. She's going to be in that room. I know. She's going to find out in the worst possible way. There is no good way, I said. And she deserves better than finding out from whispers behind her back. Better than living in a lie. Ellen nodded. Then do it clean, fast, and get out before it gets ugly. It's already ugly. That night, I wrote Sophie a letter. 8 pages, handwritten on the cream stationery I kept for important documents. The kind of paper that felt substantial in your hands. Permanent. I didn't know when I'd give it to her. Maybe after the party, maybe years from now, maybe never. But I needed to write it. Needed her to know, whenever she was ready, why I'd done what I was about to do. Dear Sophie, I'm writing this the night before your 16th birthday. You're asleep down the hall, and I'm sitting in my office trying to find words for something that doesn't have words. By the time you read this, you'll know. You'll know that I'm not your biological father, that your mother had an affair, that your grandmother, your aunt, your whole family helped hide it from me for 16 years, and you'll probably wonder if I ever really loved you. Sophie, I loved you from the moment they put you in my arms. When you were 3 days old and wouldn't stop crying, and I walked you around the hospital room for 2 hours singing bad lullabies until you fell asleep. When you were 5 and broke your arm falling off the monkey bars, and I held your hand in the ER. When you were 12 and your best friend moved away, and you cried in the car while I drove you for ice cream. Every soccer game, every school play, every parent-teacher conference, every moment of your life, I was there. I was your father. DNA doesn't make a father, but truth makes a man. I choose to be both, even if it costs me everything. I'm not leaving you. I'm leaving the lies that hurt us both. There's a difference. You don't have to understand right now. You don't have to forgive me for how you find out. You just have to know this. I love you. I will always love you. Nothing, not blood, not genetics, not any of this, changes that. You are my daughter. You will always be my daughter. And someday, when you're ready, I hope you'll understand why I had to tell the truth. Love, Dad. I sealed the envelope, addressed it to Sophie for when you're ready. Put it in my desk drawer. We don't leave the people who need us. We leave the lies that hurt them. Friday, the day before the party, I went to work like normal, came home like normal. Rachel was in the kitchen, going over final party details with my mother on speakerphone. The DJ confirmed, Mom was saying, and I picked up the custom napkins. They're perfect. Thanks, Patricia, Rachel said. I don't know what I'd do without you. That's what family's for. I walked past them, went upstairs, packed an overnight bag, and put it in my car. Sophie came home from school excited. One more day. I can't believe it's finally here. Me neither, sweetheart. She hugged me. I held her tight. Dad, you're squishing me. She laughed. Sorry. Just love you, kiddo. Love you too. That night, Rachel and I lay in bed. She was on her phone, scrolling through something. I was staring at the ceiling. Are you okay? She asked. You've been quiet lately. Just thinking about Dad, grief stuff. I know. She put her phone down, touched my arm. It gets easier, I promise. Does it? Yeah, time helps. I turned to look at her, really look, at this woman I'd been married to for 17 years, who'd stood beside me at my father's funeral, who'd made me coffee every morning for nearly 2 decades, who'd built a life with me based on a lie so fundamental it poisoned everything. Rachel, I said, do you love me? She blinked. Of course I do. What kind of question is that? Just wondering. She kissed my forehead. Get some sleep. Big day tomorrow. Yeah, I said. Big day. Here's the question I couldn't answer. Do you confront the lie in private, or make sure everyone who helped hide it faces the truth together? Think about it. Saturday morning arrived. The party was at 2. Rachel was up early, making phone calls, confirming details. Sophie was bouncing around the house in her bathrobe, too excited to eat breakfast. 6 hours, she kept saying. 6 hours until I'm officially 16. I made pancakes. We sat around the table like a normal family having a normal Saturday morning, except I had divorce papers in my briefcase and a sealed envelope with DNA results and a plan that would detonate everything. You seem calm, Rachel said, watching me. Do I? Usually you're stressed about parties, but you seem peaceful. I guess I am, I said. I finally made a decision about something that's been bothering me. Your dad's estate? Something like that. We arrived at the Riverside Hall at noon to set up. The venue was perfect. High ceilings, big windows overlooking the river, enough space for 50 people to dance and mingle. The DJ was setting up in the corner. The caterers were arranging tables. My mother arrived with Vanessa. They had boxes of decorations, bags of party favors. They fussed over every detail. The banner should be higher, Mom directed. Sophie will want photos with it. Sophie tried on her dress in the venue's dressing room. Blue, sparkly, perfect for a sweet 16. She came out twirling. What do you think, Dad? You look beautiful. Thanks. She hugged me. I'm so glad you're here. I know this week has been hard with Grandpa and everything. Wouldn't miss it for the world. Guests started arriving at 1:30. Family first. Uncle Tom, Aunt Linda, cousins I hadn't seen in months, neighbors, Sophie's friends from school, giggling and taking photos. Everyone dressed up, everyone smiling. 47 people, all told, I counted. My mother held court near the gift table, playing the proud grandmother. Vanessa was helping Rachel with last-minute details. Greg was talking to the DJ about the playlist. Everyone who'd known, everyone who'd lied, all in one room. The DJ started playing music. Sophie danced with her friends. Rachel mingled, playing the perfect hostess. My mother smiled and greeted guests like this was her party, her triumph. I stood near the back, holding a gift bag. Inside, 2 envelopes, one containing the DNA test results, one containing printouts of the text messages. Ellen had advised me to make it quick, in and out. Don't let it become a scene. But it was already a scene. It had been a scene for 16 years. I was just bringing it into the light. At 2:30, the DJ announced gift opening time. Sophie sat in the special chair we'd set up, surrounded by wrapped boxes and bags. Everyone gathered around to watch. She opened presents one by one, jewelry from her friends, gift cards, a new laptop from my mother, for college applications. Then it was my turn. I approached with the gift bag, simple, elegant, no bow. This one's from Dad, the DJ announced. Sophie smiled at me. What did you get me? I handed her the bag. Open it. She reached inside, pulled out the first envelope. Fancy paper, printed label, her name on the front. It's heavy, she said. Read it, I said. The room went quiet. Something in my voice, something in my face. Sophie opened the envelope, pulled out the papers, started reading. I watched her expression change. Confusion, then shock. Then she looked up at me. Dad, what is this? DNA results, I said, loud enough for everyone to hear. From a lab, certified, professional. Rachel's face drained of color. She started moving toward me. Mark, probability of paternity, I continued, reading from the document. 0%. The room went dead silent. Sophie stared at the papers. I don't understand. There's a second envelope, I said. She pulled it out. Text message printouts, dozens of pages, highlighted, dated. I looked at my mother. You knew. Patricia's mouth opened. Nothing came out. I looked at Vanessa. You knew. Vanessa was crying. I looked at Rachel. You all knew. For years. And you said nothing. Mark, please, Rachel said, and not here. Not like this. Where then? I asked. When? After another 16 years? Sophie was reading the text, her hands shaking. Mom? Rachel reached for her. Sophie, honey, don't. Sophie pulled away. Is this real? Did you... "I'm sorry," Rachel whispered. "I'm so sorry." I picked up the letter I'd written, placed it on the gift table. "This is for you, Sophie, when you're ready." Then I looked around the room, 47 people staring, some filming on their phones, some with their hands over their mouths. "This party is for Sophie," I said. "She deserves truth, not secrets. I'm not her biological father. I just learned this, but you all..." I gestured to my mother, my sister, my wife. "You've known, some of you, for years." I looked back at Sophie. She was crying now, silent tears running down her face. "I love you, Sophie," I said. "That never changed, but I can't stay in a family built on lies." I read the results aloud. Probability of paternity, 0%. Then I looked at my mother and said, "You knew." I walked toward the door. "Mark," Rachel called, "don't do this, don't leave." But I was already leaving. No one stopped me. I walked through that silent crowd, past my mother's white face, past Vanessa sobbing, past 47 witnesses who'd watched a family implode. I got to my car, started the engine, and drove away from the life I'd built on someone else's lies. No apology could fix this. No explanation could excuse it. Just the truth, finally free. I checked into a hotel that night, the Marriott off Highway 9, the kind of anonymous place where no one asks questions and you pay with a credit card that has a different billing address than your home. Room 3F14, 2 double beds, a view of the parking lot, a mini fridge that hummed too loud. I sat on the edge of the bed and turned my phone back on. 127 missed calls. Texts flooded in. Rachel, my mother, Vanessa, Greg. Numbers I didn't recognize. Probably other party guests. Everyone wanting to explain, to apologize, to tell me I'd made a scene. I'd humiliated my daughter. I'd destroyed everything. I deleted them without reading most of them. But one text stopped me. From Vanessa. "Mark, I know you hate me. I deserve it, but I need to explain. We thought we were protecting you. Dad had just died, and Sophie was so little, and Rachel was a mess. Mom said it would destroy you. We believed her. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We were wrong." I stared at that text for a long time. We thought we were protecting you. 16 years of lies, gift wrapped in concern. I turned my phone off again. Sunday morning, I called Ellen. "File everything. Divorce papers, custody petition, all of it." "You're sure?" "I've never been more sure of anything in my life." "What about Sophie?" I was quiet for a moment. "She has my number. When she's ready, she'll call. And if she doesn't, then I'll wait." Ellen filed the papers Monday morning. By Monday afternoon, Rachel had been served. She called immediately. "Mark, please, can we talk? Just the two of us?" "Talk to my lawyer." "I love you. I know you don't believe that, but I do." "You love the idea of me," I said. "The convenient father, the guy who didn't ask questions, but you don't love me. You never knew me." "That's not fair." "Neither is 16 years of lies." I hung up. By Tuesday, the story had spread. Small town, big scandal. I got emails from people I barely knew, some supportive, some judgmental. A former coworker wrote, "I always thought something was off, the way your mother looked at Sophie, like she was afraid. Now it makes sense." A neighbor wrote, "What you did at that party was cruel. That poor girl. You should be ashamed." I deleted that one too. Wednesday, a letter arrived at the hotel. Hand delivered. The front desk called up to my room. "Package for you, Mr. Morrison." My heart stopped. Morrison was Rachel's maiden name, the name on Sophie's hospital bracelet. I went downstairs. The envelope was lavender, Sophie's favorite color. I carried it back to my room, set it on the nightstand, stared at it for 3 hours. I couldn't open it. Not yet. Because what if she hated me? What if those pages contained everything I'd feared? That I'd destroyed her, humiliated her, proven that I never really loved her at all. Sophie's letter sat on the nightstand for 3 days. I wasn't ready to know if she hated me. Thursday, my mother tried a different approach. She showed up at my office, made it past security by claiming she was my mother, which was true, technically, even if the word felt hollow now. My assistant called, "Your mom is here. Tell her I'm in a meeting." She says it's an emergency. Tell her to leave. Patricia didn't leave. She waited in the lobby for 2 hours until I had to come out to go to lunch. She cornered me by the elevators. "Mark, please, just listen." No. Sophie is devastated. She won't eat. She won't talk. She just sits in her room crying. "You need to come home and fix this." "I need to fix this?" I turned to face her. "I didn't break it, Mom. You did. Rachel did. All of you did. We were protecting..." "Don't!" I held up my hand. "Don't say you were protecting me. You were protecting yourselves, your perfect family image, your control. You tested my daughter in secret. You created a group chat called Protecting Mark, where you coordinated lies. That's not protection. That's manipulation. You don't understand." "You're right. I don't understand, and I never will. Now get out of my office." She tried a different tactic. By Friday, she'd filed a complaint with my company's HR department claiming I was having a mental health crisis. Unstable, dangerous, needed intervention. It backfired spectacularly. My boss called me in. "Mark, there's been a complaint." "I know, my mother. She's claiming you're having a breakdown, that you made a scene at a family event, that you need psychological evaluation." "I have documentation," I said, "of everything. Would you like to see it?" I showed him the DNA tests, the phone records, the timeline. 16 years of systematic deception. My boss sat back. "Jesus, Mark?" "Yeah." "You need time off?" "No, I need work. I need normal. I need something in my life that isn't a lie." He nodded. "Take what you need. HR will handle your mother." They sent her a cease and desist. Patricia's attempt to claim I was mentally unstable backfired when my documentation was revealed. By the second week, the legal proceedings were moving forward. Rachel's lawyer contacted Ellen. They wanted to settle. Avoid court. "Think of Sophie," they said. "I am thinking of Sophie," I told Ellen. "That's why I want this documented, legal, public record, so she knows years from now that I didn't just walk away, that I fought for the truth." We agreed to mediation, split assets 50-50, the house, the savings, everything we'd built together. I didn't fight her on the money. I didn't want it. But custody was different. "Sophie is 16, the mediator said. "Old enough to have a say. What does she want?" Nobody knew. Sophie hadn't spoken to anyone. Not Rachel, not my mother, not her friends. She'd locked herself in her room and refused to come out. "We need to talk to her," the mediator said. "She has to make a choice." That night I finally opened her letter. My hands shook as I broke the lavender seal. 2 pages, handwritten in Sophie's neat cursive. "Dad, I don't know if I'm supposed to call you that anymore. Mom says you're not my real dad. Grandma says you're having a breakdown. Aunt Vanessa says everyone made mistakes. I don't know what to believe, but I know what I feel. I feel like my whole life was a lie. Like every time you said I love you, there was an asterisk. Like every birthday, every dance, every moment we had together, it was all fake. Was it fake, Dad? Because it didn't feel fake. When you taught me to ride a bike and ran behind me until I got it. When you stayed up all night helping me with my science project, even though you had work the next day. When you came to every single soccer game, even the ones in the rain. That didn't feel fake. I'm angry at Mom. I'm angry at Grandma. I'm angry at everyone who knew and didn't tell us. But I'm not angry at you. You're still my dad. Biology is just science. Love is choice, and I choose you. I don't know if you still want to be my dad after what Mom did. I don't know if you can forgive any of us, but I need you to know. You didn't lose a daughter at that party. You told the truth. That's what good fathers do. Please don't disappear. Please don't leave me behind with all the liars. I need you. Love, Sophie. I read it 3 times. Then I sat on the hotel bed and cried. Not the angry tears from the car at the lake. Not the numb shock of the DNA results. Relief. Pure, overwhelming relief. She chose me. After everything. After the public humiliation and the shattered illusions and the destroyed party. She chose me. I called Ellen. Set up a meeting, Sophie and me, neutral location. I need to see her. We met at a coffee shop, the same one where I'd met Derek, actually. Full circle. Sophie was already there when I arrived. She looked smaller somehow, tired. Her hair pulled back in a messy ponytail. No makeup. The 16-year-old trying to process a lifetime of lies. She stood when she saw me. We stared at each other. Then she ran to me. I caught her, held her. She was crying into my shoulder, and I was crying too, and the other people in the coffee shop were probably staring, but I didn't care. I'm sorry, I said. I'm so sorry you found out that way. I'm not, she said into my shirt. I'm glad. I'm glad you told the truth. We sat down, ordered drinks neither of us would finish, talked for 2 hours. Mom won't stop crying, Sophie said. She keeps trying to explain, but I don't want explanations. I want to know why. Why she lied for so long. Why Grandma helped. Why everyone thought I was too stupid to handle the truth. You're not stupid. You're the smartest person in this mess. I don't feel smart. I feel lost. Me too. Grandma says you're never coming back, that you're filing for divorce and moving away, and I'll never see you again. Your grandmother doesn't speak for me, I said. Sophie, I'm not going anywhere. I'm your father. That hasn't changed. But the DNA doesn't make a father. Being there makes a father, and I've been there. I'm still here. She wiped her eyes. Mom wants me to testify. In the custody thing, she says if I tell the judge I want to live with her, you won't get any time with me. What do you want? I want to live with you, she said. Is that crazy? Mom's my mom and she lied, but she still loves me. I know she does. But you got hurt the most and you're still here. You still want me. I'll always want you. Can I live with you? Even part-time? Even if Mom fights it? We'll figure it out. You're 16. The court will listen to you. She smiled for the first time. Small, fragile, but real. I thought you'd hate me because I'm hers, because I'm his. You're you, I said. That's all that matters. If someone unexpected ever had your back during your worst moment, drop their name or just say thank you and their first initial in the comments. They might see it. The custody mediation happened 3 weeks later. Sophie asked to speak to the judge privately. They allowed it. She was in there for 40 minutes. When she came out, Rachel was crying. My mother looked like she'd aged 10 years. Sophie walked past them both and sat next to me. The judge returned. I've made my decision. Given Sophie's age and clear preference, custody will be split 60-40. Primary residence with Mark, weekends, and Wednesday evenings with Rachel. This arrangement can be revisited in 6 months. Rachel sobbed. She's my daughter. And she's chosen her father, the judge said. Biology is one factor. Stability is another. From what I've heard, Mr. Morrison has provided consistent stability. That matters. We left the courthouse together. Sophie and me. Rachel tried to follow. Sophie, please. Mom, I'll see you Wednesday, Sophie said. Not cruel, just firm. But I'm going with Dad now. Derek had sent an email the week before, formal, apologetic. He was voluntarily sending child support retroactively, 16 years worth, calculated at the state guideline rate. I don't want your money, I wrote back. It's not for you, he replied. It's for Sophie, college fund, whatever she needs. I wasn't there. The least I can do is help now. I set up a college savings account in Sophie's name, deposited his checks. She'd have over $80,000 when she turned 18. I didn't tell her where it came from, just that she had options. My mother never apologized. She sent one email 3 weeks after the party. What you did was unforgivable. You destroyed this family for your pride. Don't contact me again. I didn't. Vanessa did apologize. A long letter, handwritten, explaining how my mother had manipulated everyone, how she'd been afraid to stand up to her, how she regretted every moment of silence. I kept the letter, didn't respond. Maybe someday I would, but not yet. The surprising ally was Rachel's sister, Karen. She reached out a month after everything imploded. I didn't know, she said. Rachel never told me, but if I had known, I would have told you. That was wrong. All of it. We met for coffee. She apologized on behalf of her sister, said Rachel was in therapy now, trying to understand why she'd lied for so long, how to make amends. Tell her the amends are with Sophie, I said, not with me. What about you? What do you need? Honestly, space and time, and a family that doesn't treat truth like a negotiation. Karen nodded. Fair. 6 months passed. Sophie and I moved into a 2-bedroom apartment across town, smaller than the house, but it was ours. Clean, honest, no secrets buried in medicine cabinets. She decorated her room with posters and string lights and photos of her friends. I bought her a desk for homework. We painted the living room together, pale blue, her choice. Saturday mornings became our tradition. Pancakes, just the two of us. No scripts, no performances, just us. She told me about school, about her friends, about the therapy sessions Rachel had set up for her, about how she was learning to process the lie, the betrayal, the complicated grief of loving people who'd hurt her. Mom's trying, Sophie said one morning. She bought me a journal, asked me to write down my feelings. It's weird, but kind of nice. That's good. She asks about you sometimes, how you're doing. What do you tell her? That you're happy, are you? I thought about it. I'm getting there. Sophie started seeing Derek, her choice. Supervised at first, then regular visits. It was awkward, everyone admitted that, but Derek was kind, patient. He didn't try to be her father, just someone who wanted to know her. He's okay, Sophie told me after their third meeting. It's weird, but he's not pushing anything, just wants to help if I need it. How do you feel about that? I don't know, confused, but curious, I guess. That's okay. You're not mad? No, he's part of your story. You get to decide what role he plays. I joined a support group. Fathers facing paternity fraud met once a month in a church basement. A dozen men, all dealing with versions of the same nightmare. Some had walked away completely. Some were fighting for custody. Some were trying to forgive. I mostly listened, but it helped knowing I wasn't alone. Jason, my lawyer friend, became a real friend. He checked in weekly, invited me to poker nights, introduced me to people, helped me rebuild a social life that wasn't defined by Rachel's family. You're doing good, man, he said one night. Most guys in your position, they'd be destroyed, but you're standing. I'm trying. That's more than trying. You're building something real. Sophie's 16th birthday, her real one, not the party, came 2 months after everything. We celebrated quietly, just the two of us. Dinner at her favorite restaurant, a cupcake with a candle. Make a wish, I said. She closed her eyes, blew out the candle. What did you wish for? Can't tell, won't come true. We drove home in comfortable silence. She turned to me before getting out of the car. Dad? Yeah? Thanks for not leaving. I'll never leave you, Sophie. Never. I know, she said. That's why you're my real dad. Art class was Sophie's favorite subject. She'd always been creative, but after everything, she threw herself into painting. Her therapist said it was healthy, a way to process. One Saturday, she asked me to close my eyes. I made something for you, for the apartment. I closed my eyes, heard her rustling, setting something up. Okay, open. A painting sat on the coffee table. Watercolor, 2 figures, one taller, one shorter, holding hands. Abstract, no faces, just the connection between them. a single red line linking their hands unbroken. "It's us," Sophie said quietly. "I titled it Chosen." I couldn't speak. "Do you like it?" "Sophie." My voice broke. "It's perfect." She smiled. "I thought we could hang it, replace the old family photos, start new." We hung it that afternoon, above the couch, where anyone who visited would see it first. Two people holding hands, chosen. If you found your chosen family, it's blood or not, tell me about them. What makes them real? One sentence, I'll read every single one. Sophie asked me one Sunday morning while we were making pancakes, "Dad, when I get married someday, would you walk me down the aisle?" I flipped a pancake, tried to keep my voice steady. "You want me to?" "Of course I do. You're my dad." "Then I'd be honored." She grinned. "Good, because you're my real dad, the one who showed up." That became our phrase. The one who showed up. Not the one who shared DNA, not the one who had the affair, not the one who sent checks from a distance, the one who showed up to soccer games and school plays and 2 a.m. emergency room visits and homework meltdowns and everything in between, the one who stayed. Rachel and I finalized the divorce in month 7. She cried through the entire proceeding, kept saying, "I'm sorry," like a mantra that could undo 16 years. I didn't engage, just signed the papers, shook my lawyer's hand, left. Sophie maintained her relationship with Rachel, Wednesday dinners, some weekends. It was strained but slowly healing. They were working through it in therapy, learning to rebuild trust. "Mom asked if you'd ever forgive her," Sophie said one day. "What did you tell her?" "That it's not my place to ask. That's between you two." "Smart kid." I get it from my dad. I never reconnected with my mother. Patricia sent a few emails over the months, first angry, then pleading, then resigned. I archived them all unread. Sophie still saw her occasionally. Her choice. I didn't interfere. "Grandma keeps asking when you're coming back to the family," Sophie told me. "What do you say?" "That you never left the family." She did. She's just too proud to admit it. Month 8, I started dating again. Nothing serious. Coffee with a woman from work, dinner with someone Jason introduced me, just remembering what it felt like to connect with someone honestly, from the beginning, with no secrets buried in bathroom cabinets. Sophie teased me about it. "Dad's got a girlfriend." "It's not serious. Yet." "Aren't teenagers supposed to hate when their parents date?" "Usually, but you deserve to be happy, like actually happy, not fake happy." "When did you get so wise?" "I've had a good teacher." The apartment slowly filled with our life. Photos of Sophie and me at the Grand Canyon, a road trip we took over spring break, her debate trophy on the mantle, my coffee maker that she'd learned to use, making me coffee on the mornings I ran late, a throw blanket she'd picked out because the couch looked sad. It was smaller than the house, simpler, but it was real. No performance, no secrets, just us building something honest from the ruins of what we'd lost. 1 year after the party, Sophie and I sat on the apartment balcony. Small space, barely fit 2 chairs, but we could see the sunset. "You ever regret it?" she asked. "The way you told everyone?" I thought about it. "Sometimes I regret that you found out that way, that I hurt you. You didn't hurt me. The lie hurt me. You freed me. Still, there might have been a better way. Maybe, but that way worked. Everyone knows now. No more whispers, no more secrets, just truth. Uncomfortable truth. Truth usually is." We sat in silence. The sun dropped behind the buildings. "Dad?" "Yeah." "I'm glad it's you. Not Derek, not anyone else. You." "Me too, kiddo." The painting hung in the living room. Chosen. Every time I looked at it, I remembered why I'd walked out of that party. Not to destroy, not to punish, to tell the truth. Because we don't leave the people who need us. We leave the lies that hurt them. And sometimes, if you're lucky, the people who need you find their way back. Sophie just texted, she's bringing her boyfriend to breakfast next week, wants me to meet him, said she needs my approval. I'm still her dad. The apartment's smaller now. The walls are bare except for one painting, two figures holding hands connected by an unbroken red line. Sophie titled it Chosen. On Saturday mornings, she comes over. We make pancakes, her recipe, my stove, the radio plays. We don't talk about the party anymore. We don't need to, because the truth did its job. It burned away the lies. And what's left? This quiet kitchen, this easy laughter, this girl who chose me back, this is real. Family isn't who shares your blood. Family is who shows up when the blood type doesn't match, who stays when the DNA says leave, who paints you a picture that says, you're mine anyway. We don't leave the people who need us. We leave the lies that hurt them. And sometimes when you're very lucky, the people who truly love you choose you back. Not because they have to, because they want to. Sophie's bringing her boyfriend to breakfast next Saturday. His name is Michael. She's nervous. I told her I'd be on my best behavior. She laughed, said, you're always on your best behavior, Dad. That's kind of your thing. Maybe it is. Or maybe I'm just finally living a life where I don't have to pretend anymore. The apartment's smaller, the family's different, but when Sophie visits, we cook breakfast together. No scripts, no secrets, just us. And that's enough. That's more than enough. That's everything. This isn't a story about DNA. It's about truth and what we owe the people we love. If stories like this matter to you, real ones, messy ones, ones that don't always end clean, remember family is who shows up, not who shares your blood. Sophie's painting still hangs above my couch. Chosen. Every morning I see it. Every morning I remember I chose truth, and she chose me. Some stories don't end with everyone reconciled. Some families break and never fully heal. Some betrayals are too deep for simple forgiveness. But some stories end with something better than reconciliation. They end with truth, with clarity, with the people who matter most choosing each other freely, without obligation, without lies. They end with breakfast on Saturday mornings, with pancakes and bad jokes and a daughter who calls you dad because she wants to, not because she has to. They end with a painting titled Chosen, and a life built on honesty instead of comfortable lies. That's not a perfect ending, but it's a real one. And after 16 years of fiction, real is all I wanted.